You know when you watch a scary movie and you get that jolt like Marv from Home Alone 2? That happened in this movie. How's it? Welcome to Tama Takes Reviews. My name is Sean Tama. This is where I give you my take. If you like movie reviews, top 10 lists, TV show reviews, and you enjoy this kind of content, please hit that like and subscribe button. And let's talk movies. The Night House, starring Rebecca Hall. It has been a while since I've seen like a good scary movie. I did enjoy the third Conjuring film, but even in that film, when I was watching it, I didn't really feel tensed up or scared. There were some parts there that were creepy, but me getting tensed up, I feel like that's become a lot more rare as I've gotten older and as I've watched more scary films. And from the trailer, I didn't really think that was going to happen watching this film, and I was wrong. I rarely fall for any type of jump scare. The last jump scare I ever fell for was in the TV show The Haunting of Hill House. I'll post a clip right here real quick.
Your excuses are so...
Really makes you, you can get jump scared and you kind of like a little twitch, but not where my whole body moves like that. It got me. This movie, one scene got me. The premise of this, Rebecca Hall, her character's husband has killed himself and she's dealing with grief, and they portray that very well. She does a great job. Showing the grief, kind of what she's going through is very, very believable. She's trying to continue on with her life, going back to work. And she has one friend, one coworker who's kind of, take your time. We understand, why are you working? And Rebecca Hall's character is, she wants to just keep going, take her mind off things. Where things start to happen in the house, and she kind of goes into this mystery of what's happening, and then it kind of goes from there. I don't want to give too much away. So let's go to the good stuff.
Brah, that's cherry.
Rebecca Hall, fantastic job. As I said before, you really feel for her character. You really feel what she's going through. The scares are there. And I really like that they start off with these scares. Now, there's a little 10 to 15 minute opening where nothing, scary happens, but they sprinkle in little things here and there in the beginning. But when some of that ramps up, it really gets you tense, in my opinion. It got me tense, and it kept me tense for later scenes in the film because it did such a good job in the beginning. Normally I think jump scares are a little cheap, and there's a couple that didn't get me that someone in my theater is actually, man, that scared the shit out of me. But the creepy vibe that they put out is brilliantly done. I love the color scheme that they chose. It gave me all I wanted in a horror film. Now to the negative side.
Brah, that stinks.
It does drag a bit towards the end of the second act. When something's not really happening at the house and stuff like that, it does slow the pace down, and it does take you out of it just a tad. And I know horror films, for the most part, like to do that to give the audience a bit of a rest from the negative horror things that are happening. And again, the first 10 to 15 minutes, a bit slow, kind of catching us up with Rebecca Hall's character and what she's gone through and how she's coping with her husband committing suicide. A little cheap trick they use for these jump scares is sound. And so that's honestly what got a couple other people in the theater. It's the sound to go along with what's happening on screen. But other than that, I really don't have much else negative to say. Maybe the ending doesn't land as much as I hoped it would. It was a little different than what I was expecting. And I say that because the trailer is a bit misleading. So I would actually go into this trying not to watch the trailer. Obviously it's been out for a while, the trailer, and it's so easily accessible. If you've never heard of this film and you haven't seen the trailer, don't watch it. I highly recommend do not do that. I think it would make it more enjoyable, and I enjoyed it watching the trailer so many times because I've seen it so many times before a film in theaters. It's misleading, and I think that may have led me to not like it, at least the ending, as much. Now let's get into spoiler talk. If you don't want to know what happens in the end, I'll leave a timestamp in the comment section, in the description below, and you can go ahead and skip to that part. So the twist, there's multiple twists. You find out that her husband was somewhat cheating on her, but he was doing it because of this demon. You learn early in the film that Rebecca Hall's character actually was dead for 4 minutes. She got in a car crash, and for 4 minutes she was dead. She was legally dead. She was brought back to life, and I guess when she was brought back to life, this demon attached herself to her. The husband I suppose, was able to find out about this demon. And I think it's because I'm not sure how they really explained it in that sense, but Rebecca Hall's character always felt some presence, and the husband, they'd been together for, I think they said 15 years almost before he killed himself. So what he was doing was tricking this demon, because this demon wanted our main character, Rebecca Hall. And so what the husband was doing was he was taking women who look extremely similar and kind of killing them to hand over to this demon to kind of trick him to release the grip he had on her. In the trailer, it's a reverse floor plan, and everything's flipped, right? That's basically the trailer. That's not it at all. There is a night house, but it's built in the woods. It wasn't finished, and what the husband was doing was killing these women, hiding them there for the demon. And I guess for a while, the demon was being tricked. And so the reverse floor plan that the husband was building at this house was to trick the demon. And there's books and stuff that I guess he was reading and all that kind of stuff. But in the end, the demon caught on to what the husband was doing, and eventually that led to his suicide. So basically the end is Rebecca Hall kind of going and being able to witness all these murders that her husband was doing while this demon, I don't know if the demon's trying to show her all this stuff to kind of get her to trust him, because in the end, she's on a boat with her husband with a gun, and then it's kind of flipping between where she's at, and then her friend comes over and sees her on the boat in the lake, but it's present day, whereas Rebecca Hall it's nighttime, it's red. Love the color scheme during this part, and she has a gun, and the demon's basically the demon kind of looking exactly like her husband is saying, come with me, we can go off together, that kind of stuff, as demons do, trying to trick you to take your life and be stuck with them. So I guess the ending isn't what I was expecting, because that trailer showing the opposite house and kind of there being a Rebecca Hall in one house, Rebecca Hall in the other house, and that's not what it is. It's a dream sequence, and that's kind of how they wrapped that trailer. They used that one little dream sequence to kind of make it seem like there was going to be multiple people on each side of this lake. And that's not what it was. If you're here, you skip spoilers. My final grade is going to be an A-. Not quite to that AA+, because again, the ending just didn't land quite as good as I wanted it to. But me feeling that tensed up throughout the film, it's hard to do. They did it well, and it was a job well done. That's gonna do it for the take today. Let me know what you guys thought of the Night House. I'll catch you guys next time. Shoots.